Hey guys, so I was just trying to go to bed and I was just doing my affirmations and I was thinking about my past and I was thinking about my present and I wanted to make this video because I have a lot to say and I think it's a good time that I start making talking videos as well and share what's going on in my mind. And you're completely free to correct me or share your opinion with me either in the comments or DMs or whatever. But so today I'm going to make a video about ending relations and ending friendships that are sort of draining you. So, first, realize that just because you and a certain people in your life don't talk anymore doesn't make you enemies or doesn't make you not friends. So, there may be bonds and there may be relationships in your life and people who you don't talk to anymore, and you do talk to them once in a while and you feel good. And just because, you drifted apart and you grew apart, that doesn't mean that you have to end your relation with them because they're not exactly harming you. Not every relationship in your life that's not active has to be cut off. Like, there are some low maintenance friends, if you know what I mean. For example, you can catch up with them every few months and you'll still feel like that bond is like this stronger than ever. Any friendship that you have, the kind of bond that you have to have with this person is that you should be able to share anything with them and you should not feel judged. There will be a lot of people who will be like, trust me, trust me, trust me. They'll keep saying the words, but you have to let their actions speak and their behavior speak. I feel like in a friendship, you have to sort of create that safe environment for the person to be comfortable being vulnerable in. Like, for example, if my friend is going through something, I will tell her that I'm there for her, and no matter what's going on with her. And it's up to her if she wants to share, if she does not want to share. And yeah, the most you can do is let them know, create that safe space, gain their trust, earn their trust, basically. Just not tell them to trust you, earn their trust. I think that's really important, like without any judgment, like regardless of what you think. I think if you have a friend in your life whom you really value, you need to be that kind of non judgmental person with them because you love them and you care for them, obviously. The friendships that you don't talk to them anymore, but seeing them achieve their goals, seeing them get what they always wanted still makes you happy, means that you should stick around for them because I feel like certain friendships, even though you're growing apart, doesn't mean you have to sort of end it. You can stick around for each other and sort of applaud them for their silent victories, for their huge victories, for the tiny goals that they wanted to do. I feel like that's really good. And now I'm gonna get into the real stuff is realize when people are using you and taking advantage of you and your friendship. So I'm gonna give an example. So I had this friend, let's name them D because D is easier to say. So anyway, so D and I, we were really close. We were best friends, and they were going through a lot in their life, and I was always there for them, and they were always there for me too. And it was a really, really good, healthy friendship, I'd say. And then after a certain point, they started getting into relationships, they started cheating on their partners, and then they started associating with really bad people. And they were going through a lot at home too, which is completely understandable because I go through a lot in different parts of my life as well. And I need a friend like that. So whenever they needed me, whenever they wanted to talk, I'd be there for them. But after a certain point, they'd start cutting me off just because other people said so. They started talking shit about me. They just started being hot and cold, and they'd still come back to me and they'd still ask for my advice, they'd still rant to me, vent to me, and I'd still be there for them. But after a certain point, I started feeling used, and I feel like everyone is going to meet this kind of person in their life because these people are everywhere. So, after a certain point, our friendship wasn't even a friendship anymore. It was just them saying something or the other about their life, and I would be there for them. I would give them advice. But the thing is that even though they're complaining so much to me and I give them advice, and it's not even something great or something big like, oh, move out of your house or, something like that, it's genuine small advice because I know what it's like to be in those situations. So, and I give it to them, and they don't take advice because some people, they like to be in their misery. Some people are comfortable in their depression, and these people are miserable. And the quote by Wizard Liz, I mean, it's not exactly by her, but I've heard her say it: misery loves company. So basically, miserable people will make you miserable. If they are here, they will pull you down here. And if they are here, you try to pull them up and they just don't want to, they'll pull you down with them too. So that's when I ended my friendship, my relationship with this person. And obviously I felt bad, but obviously I knew what was going on. So basically, realize when people are using you and your kindness and your lack of boundaries with them. Like, this person would just cut me off without any explanation for a month or two and then come back saying, oh, I'm sorry, they told me to not talk to you. At least give me an explanation. That's the least I deserve. So anyway, that's what happened. So these are the type of people that you need to, type of friends especially, that you need to watch out for. If your friend is going through a lot and they are constantly talking to you, it can be exhausting, but they're also working on themselves. They're also taking small parts of your advice. I know, like, it's not easy to listen to 100% of everyone's advice, but like, small stuff, they're listening, they're like, okay, I understand. That's okay. That's completely okay. And that's a good friend, and they'll be fine in no time. But then there are these people who complain about being miserable, but they also don't want to help themselves. They're sort of comfortable in that position, because it takes a lot of hard work to at least clear up your mind and stuff. Anyway, that's the second one. Ask yourself this question. Ask yourself, every person in your life, every relationship in your life, every friendship, every bond that you have in your life, ask yourself, what value does this person bring into my life? And what value do I bring into their life? I feel like you're gonna open your, it can be small things. It doesn't have to be any big value that they bring in. But basically, if you have friendships that do not bring any value to your life and that are only draining you, you need to cut it off no matter how long you have been with them. It might be going on in your head. Like, oh, I've been with them for so long. I can't just, disappear. Like, for example, with D, the first person who was really draining me, I was with them with a long time too. I was friends with them for years and I loved them and I care for them. But after a certain point, it just gets toxic and they become into a person you never expected them to be. That's when you need to realize that, oh, this is not the person that I love anymore, and you have to end your friendship with them. So ask yourself the question, what value do they bring into my life? How, like, like, for example, this person teaches me how to be kinder. This person taught me to believe in myself, my best friend. This person taught me to pay attention to, the little things in life. This person taught me maths. This person makes me happy. It can be anything, it can be tiny things. If there is nothing, like no value that they add to your life, and in fact there are negative points like, oh, this person is draining my energy, this person is blah blah blah, the list goes on, end that friendship. Another thing is, for a lot of people, it's not easy to just end friendships. I see a lot of people who, they grew up with their friends and they turn out to be really good, nice people, and their friends turn out to be horrible people that they don't expect. But they cannot end that friendship just because they are attached. And obviously it takes time and it's not easy, but I'm gonna show you how to do this. So compare them with their past version. uh, Say that would they have done this to me a few years ago? Would they have disrespected me this way? Or and ask yourself that question, that who are they now? What values do they have now that they used to have back then but they don't anymore? People can change and people can grow into someone you wouldn't even expect them to be. They'd be the kindest, most amazing, outgoing person one day, and then a few years later, they are just disloyal, disrespectful. And I'm not saying everyone's perfect, everyone has their flaws, obviously. But I feel like when it comes to a friendship, if they are being disrespectful to you, that's not okay. Another few things I would like to add in how to actually end your relationship with this person, even though you're so attached to them, even though you know you see what kind of a person they have become today, but you don't really want to see it. You're sort of ignorant to it and you sort of accept their bad behavior, but it's not acceptable. So I'll tell you how to sort of slowly start to cut them off. So, first things first, list out all the things that they've done wrong to you. Then I've never done this, but I've sat down and thought about what a attached person might be struggling with to end that friendship. So yeah, first things first, list down all the things where they have genuinely done you wrong, like disrespected you, betrayed you, blah blah, all that stuff. Next, list out all the bad characteristics about them. I'm not saying everyone's perfect, but still, some people do lean on one side more than the other. And then the same question, what value do they add to my life? If they are not adding any value to your life, cut them off. Another thing, in what aspects are they draining me? Ask yourself that question. In what aspects are they draining me? Are they energetically draining you? Are they mentally draining you, emotionally draining you? Are they whatever, list out, ask yourself that, sit down genuinely. If you genuinely are confused about this friendship or you are hurt but you're still not able to leave them, list out all of these things, ask yourself all of these questions, write them down, look at them, and every time they call you, every time you meet them, think about them, think about the things that you wrote down, and think about how often they are repeating it and how much they are not willing to change themselves. Like, look at them and see if they are a person who can change, or who wants to change, or are they a type of person who doesn't want to change and they'll just be like that without improving themselves or working on themselves. Another way to end your friendship with them is that realize that you do not need them. Trust me, you won't need a lot of people in your life, and if you feel like you need them, start slowly distancing them from you. Think about, like, if you guys call every day, try to call once in 2 days, and then once in 3 days, and then once in 4 days, once a week, once in 2 weeks, and you start to see that life is possible without this person, and you will genuinely see it, like, oh, it's been so long since I've talked to this person. Obviously you do not need everyone. You do need some people, you do need some connections, and you do need some things in your life, but you do not need someone so much that you cannot live without them, because there are like a million thousand people out there in the world, and you can find another person like this if you believe that. Like, if you always are telling yourself that, oh, I'm never gonna find this person ever again in my life, and you have that sort of lack mentality, you're not gonna, because that's what you believe in. And if you sort of have this mindset that the world, our earth is literally overpopulated with human beings, you think you're not gonna find another friend like her or him, you think you're not gonna find another partner like them, you will. But just because of that, don't end all your relationships and friendships. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you're over attached to some person that's hurting you, you do not need them, and you will find someone way better sooner or later once you accept that. Another thing is that if you're a person who's overly dependent on other people for joy, if you're overly dependent on other people for comfort, care, happiness, you can never be content with yourself. I have seen so many people like this, even in my family. I have seen so many people like this who they cannot spend a few hours with themselves and enjoy their own company. They'll go crazy. Like, I think the first thing you need to do is be your own friend. That is so important. I think I'm my only friend. No, I'm kidding. Not anymore, obviously. But you need to love your own company. You need to love talking to yourself. You need to sort of make that safe environment for yourself. You need to work on yourself and love yourself, because honestly, no one in this world is always going to be there for you 100,000% of the time. Not your own mother, not your own father, not your husband, wife, or whatever, best friend. No one is going to always be there for you like you are going to be there for yourself. Like, you're the only one who's seen everything in your life. You're the only one who's been there for the hardest parts of your life. So you have to obviously be there for yourself like no one ever can. And obviously, I'm still working on the sharing things with other people kind of part. But at least I can share stuff with myself and not beat myself up about it. There are a lot of people who heavily depend on other people for happiness. They like desperately need a partner. They desperately need a friend to enjoy moments with. Why can't you enjoy it with yourself? Like, I understand like wanting to have friends. Like, I literally have a manifestation board, like, get new friends, and I actually did get many new friends, but that's a different topic. But before doing that, I have embraced like going out and eating alone, going out alone, and doing activities by myself. I have embraced that. So I was not in this constant mode of like desperation. If you're desperate for something, you're never gonna get it, because you can't live with the way you are now. How can you live with it without getting obsessed with it when you get it? You know what I mean? I hope you know what I mean, because I can't explain it in any other way. So yeah, be your own best friend first. Be there for yourself first. Love yourself first. Enjoy your own company first, and then go to other people for stuff. Another helpful question that can help you introspect is that, what kind of people do I want to be associated with so that I can become the best version of myself? What kind of people do I want to be associated with? Because you are sort of the people you surround yourself with. And me, usually, try I tend to isolate myself a lot. And if you are a person like this too, I know it can be hard, but try to find that one person that you can trust and try to share stuff with them. I feel like even for me, like, sharing stuff once is like, oh, that's enough. I've shared a lot. That's enough for now. Um, but I feel like slowly we have to push ourselves, because, like, I feel like life is all about finding the few right people, and being able to tell them anything and share anything with them. So if you are also a person who tends to isolate yourself or suppress your deepest thoughts and feelings or whatever, if you don't want to share them with anyone else, at least journal them, and write everything that you think, everything that you feel, everything that you want to say but you don't want to at the same time. Write them down, type it out, write it and burn it out. Just, it needs to get out, sort of, get out of here and onto a piece of paper, or to your friend, or on your phone, anything. This is going off topic. Yeah, yes, get it out from here and on to something else. And the last thing I think I'd like to say is don't take it personally. If your friend is not sharing everything with you, you should not take it personally. If your friend is actually making new connections, you should not take it personally and you should be happy for them because they're finally getting what they want, you know? I feel like as you grow up, especially, you should, in your connections with people in your life, you should not take things that personally because everyone has their own life and their own privacy or their own whatever. That's normal, that happens. So, yeah, don't take it personally. It's nothing against you. And yeah, I think I should end this video. It's been 16 minutes. I don't even know what I've been talking that much. I'm gonna go back to sleep. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think if you guys like this video, please let me know because I don't know. Mm. And I think I'm gonna end this video with a nice quote, a nice affirmation that I really love is that life is happening for you, not to you. And yeah, if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions. Correct me if I'm wrong. Disagree with me. I would like that. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching if you have even watched the entire thing. But yeah, love you. Bye.